Let's move into our third segment of the day. I got to learn this guy's name because Karine Jean-Pierre really doesn't like him. I mean, she has gone out of her way not to call on this guy, but he pushes back here. And I don't know maybe if it's his tone or what it is with her, but he does a phenomenal job here in pushing back, giving her a little bit of sass back like she gives everybody else. Let's go ahead and roll it.
I promise not to use that phrase again.
Social media loved it, though.
Do you mean to tell us that in the discussions between the president and the speaker, and in the discussions between the two negotiating teams, they are only discussing federal discretionary spending, and that they are not at all discussing the terms under which the debt ceiling would be raised?
What I can tell you is what you've heard from the president, what you've heard from both sides, which has been the negotiation has certainly been about the budget. You've heard them talk about the budget. You've heard them talk about how we're moving forward, and that in this particular moment that we're in, they've been productive. The president has held the line and has been very clear that the debt, when it comes to the debt limit, it should be done without negotiations, without condition.
There you go. That says it all. This is the contradiction in the messaging that we've been talking about since the first segment with Peter Alexander of NBC and then Jackie Heinrich of Fox News. If you haven't seen those two segments, please hop over and check them out. I know a lot of you are listening live, but you hear the contradiction there. You're saying that it's productive, and it makes sense why they're only talking about the budget, because from my understanding, and maybe I'm wrong on this, let me know in the comment section below, I do mess up, but I believe that the Republicans have already passed, theoretically, raising the debt ceiling, or at least in the process of doing so. They've already agreed to it, maybe not literally, but they have agreed in some way, shape, or form of increasing the debt limit, but they also want to figure out the budget first before they actually move along, which, again, makes sense. We're almost $32 trillion in debt. We got to figure out our budget just in the same way the average American, we got to figure out our own budgets. If we don't, things go south for us. Things are going to go south for the American economy as well. But to say that things are productive is silly when at the same time you're saying, well, the president's not going to budget. Well, then things aren't very productive, and that kind of goes hand in hand with what McCarthy's saying of, we're nowhere near a deal here. We got like 8 or 9 days before this thing goes south, and it's going to be bad, you guys. So also, you saw what Peter Alexander said of NBC News, saying, hey, like there might not be enough time here for everything to actually happen in the next 9 days here. Like our credit rating could take a hit, which isn't good for us. So there's a lot of components here, but she's contradicting herself once again.
Something that the president has said in front of all of you. And he also said, I just told you.
They're not talking about the debt ceiling, about how long it would be raised, by how much. That's not a subject of discussion.
Well, first of all, I am telling you what the president has said to all of you.
I know what he said. I follow him very closely every day. I want to know what's happening in that room.
The president has spoken to what he has said to the leaders in that room, to what he has said to Speaker McCarthy in the room, and he's been very clear. And so he has said, when it comes to the debt limit, it is not negotiable. It should be done without conditions. That's what he has said, that he has been very clear.
But is he leading up to that in these talks?
Well, I will also remind you that yesterday the Speaker and the President said, when it comes to default, it is off the table. And I'll leave it there. Okay, let's keep going.
See how quick she moves on there compared to any other reporter? I'm surprised that Jackie Heinrich got as many questions in as she did, but she kept pressing the issue. That guy gives her a little bit sass because he's had enough of her, just along with all of us here on the Bald Brad channel, just her manipulating, saying she's doing things clearly, spinning things in a terrible way, by the way, or just outright lying or gaslighting all of us. But things are productive, you guys. Things are absolutely productive, but the president's not going to do any conditions, but yet they're negotiating. So if you're going to raise the debt ceiling without any negotiations or any other reason out there, then how are you having negotiations in the first place? And then how are they productive? It's so insane. But then at the same time, you're saying, oh, well, McCarthy's acting in good faith. But then you have the Democrat Party, the leadership of the Democrat Party, coming out calling them extremists and all these names. It's just contradictory, all in the same press briefing. It's not even like you're waiting 24 hours to come out on the podium and then contradict yourself. At least you can hide it under the rug a little bit. But we're talking a span of like sometimes 5 minutes or less. You're already contradicting yourself or in the same sentence. It's insane. And I know this isn't anything new here on the Bald Brad Show, but it's just like, are there really people out there that can't see this? And I don't care who the White House press secretary is. It could be on the Republican side of the aisle as well, that we're not able to like actually see that there's manipulation and gaslighting taking place. I don't know. I mean, I see it on both sides. I just see it on way more on the Democrat side of the aisle. I mean, out of any press secretary, she is easily the worst. Easily the worst. I thought Jen Psaki was bad. Jen Psaki had almost went back at this point, but at least Jen Psaki took questions and was able to battle a little bit back and forth with Peter Doocy, Phil Wegman and Jackie Heinrich and others. She's not able to do it. She's not able to do it.
I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.